Imagine this. Your child studies all evening, confident, walks into the exam feeling ready, and then their mind goes blank. Or you, 2 weeks after a great lesson, realize the class can't remember the main idea. What if I told you that forgetting isn't random, it's predictable, and that predictability is exactly what lets us design better revision? Let's look under the hood and turn panic into a plan.
No jargon yet. Picture a garden. Seeds sprout. They need watering at the right times or they wilt. Memory is like that. Not a switch you flip, but something you tend. A little practice at the right moment keeps the plants alive. Too much at the wrong time is wasted effort. That image will carry us through the next few minutes. Now the big idea. There are 3 things at play. The forgetting curve, which is just a way of saying memory fades over time. Desirable difficulty, practice that feels a bit hard but helps you retain more. And an optimization idea from operational research. Schedule your work so you get the most retention for the least time. In other words, predictable forgetting plus well-timed practice gives you predictable gains.
Let me put it in plain English. Forgetting curve. After you learn something, your chance of recalling it drops sharply, then more slowly. Desirable difficulty. If remembering takes effort now, you'll remember it longer later. The optimization idea. Treat revision like planning deliveries. You don't deliver every parcel every day. You space deliveries so every parcel arrives on time without wasting trucks. Logic is a muscle. We can flex it here to design a better schedule.
A quick story from when I was coaching students and working in the city. I had a mentee who crammed for mock exams, did brilliantly the night before, and then tanked in the real thing. We switched to brief, spaced sessions, 10 minutes on a topic, later repeated at increasing gaps. Within 2 weeks, their confidence was steadier and their scores stopped bouncing. That wasn't luck. We were managing the decay curve and deliberately adding desirable difficulty. The math checks out, and the feeling of control matters as much as the numbers.
Okay, here's a plain English rule you can use tonight. Use 3 spacing tiers. Tier 1, brief practice the same day, a 5 to 10 minute check to stop the initial drop. Tier 2, regular practice a couple of days later, say 48 hours, to reinforce. Tier 3, extended practice a week or 2 later to secure long-term recall. Think of them as brief, regular, extended. Personalize the exact intervals, but don't skip the tiers. That small structure beats random hours of last-minute cramming every time.
If you like tidy formulas, there is an optional one in the show notes that links interval length to success probability. You don't need it to act. The 3-tier rule will do the heavy lifting. But for teachers and curious students, I drop a compact operational research insight there. Don't fear the decimal. It's just a tool when you want to be precise.
Student challenge time. Here's a 2-week mini project you can try tonight. Pick 3 topics you need to revise. Call them A, B, and C. Day 1, 10 minutes on A, 5 minutes on B, 5 minutes on C. Day 3, brief retrieval quiz for A and B. Day 6, longer retrieval on A, quick check on C. Day 10, mixed test of all 3. After each session, predict how many questions you'll get right next time. Write it down. I want you to try it for 2 weeks and watch the pattern. I'll give the worked example and a downloadable template in the show notes. Answers and predictions are there if you want to check. Try it and be surprised by how small changes create steady gains.
Parents, quick, practical scripts you can use at the dinner table without turning revision into an interrogation. Script 1. Tell me one thing you remember today and one thing you want to remember tomorrow. Short, curious, zero pressure. Script 2. Can you teach me one quick thing from your revision? I'll try to get 3 things right. That turns practice into a micro-teaching moment and gives the child an audience. 2 micro-practices a day, each 5 minutes, is enough to keep the curve from taking over.
Household micro-practice ideas. Turn flashcards into a quick pairing game while washing up. Ask your child to summarize 1 paragraph of notes into a single sentence while you make tea. Or use sticky notes on the fridge for 1 new fact per day. These are simple nudge tactics, small frictions removed, curiosity rewarded. Remember, you're building a habit, not grading a performance. Spot-on encouragement beats drilling every time.
Teachers, here's a ready-to-run 10-minute distributed retrieval starter for tomorrow's lesson. Begin with 3 quick questions from last week's topics, 1 Pew recall, 1 applied, 1 that asks for an explanation in 1 sentence. No marks, low stakes, whole class retrieval. Collect responses with whiteboards or sticky notes for 2 minutes of rapid feedback. This fits GCSE and A-level aims, particularly useful for A-level statistics and Paper 3 style questions where reasoning underlies the mark scheme.
A quick note on assessment design. Reward spaced practice by making follow-up questions build on earlier retrievals. For example, if last week's starter asked for a definition, today's starter asks for application of that definition to a short scenario. That structure encourages students to connect their earlier practice to new contexts. For high achievers, give an extension task where they design a 2-week revision schedule for a mock exam, justify the intervals using probability ideas, and present expected retention. A neat stretch activity that brings operational research into the classroom.
Before we wrap, 2 reality checks so nobody misreads this as a magic pill. First, this is a guideline, not a rigid prescription. Use the 3 tiers and adapt them. The idea is to personalize, not to feel boxed in. Second, improvements compound. You'll see small wins in 2 weeks, but the full benefits grow over months. Stick with the method for at least a month before judging. These are practical ideas, not instant makeovers.
So what's the advantage in 1 sentence? Predictable spacing of practice turns unpredictable forgetting into steady, measurable progress. Less panic, more confident learning. If you want the templates, the worked example, and the 2-week challenge sheet, download the resource pack in the show notes. Try the student challenge, use the parent prompt, and run the 10-minute starter tomorrow. I'd love to know what you notice.
If you found this useful, subscribe to the show so you don't miss the resource pack updates and future episodes on applying maths to learning. Share this with a teacher you know or a parent who keeps asking how to help. And before I go, stay curious. Stay curious.